Okay, so we're day 2 on the job as a general manager of the Toronto Blue Jays, and I've been on the phones all night just working deals. I've made one deal, I have like 6 deals in the works, and I need you guys to tell me which ones you'd make, what you wouldn't do. I just need your advice. I need an assistant general manager, someone that I can bounce ideas off of. Here's the thing, we're trying to win the World Series this year, but I'm also at the same time trying to set us up for years down the road. So I'm trying to put together the best team possible right now. But there's a lot of contracts that I don't really like on this team, and I'm trying to get rid of them. So I've got rid of one of them already. We'll go over that. And then I've got a bunch of ideas. Again, I don't know. I need you guys to let me know which ones you like and which ones you don't. So let's talk about what I did. First thing I did, and I got my iPad over here. So, I've got computer screens all over the place here. Kikuchi, I traded him. He was on a 1-year deal. He had one more year left on his deal for $10 million. And he wasn't very good, okay? Nothing against him in real life, but in this game, he wasn't really good. It was a 2.5 star. I was able to trade Kikuchi in his $10 million contract. Now, I also did have to give up a prospect. This player right here, let's see, where is he? So I gave up 2 prospects. Ricky Tiedemann? I'm not sure how you say that. He was a 2.5 star, 20 years old. He was okay. Our minor league system stinks, and so I want to get a lot better than 2.5 star guys anyway. I did have to throw him into the deal to be able to get Kikuchi's contract off the books. Here's the thing. It might sound easy to do that, but in this game, they won't do that. Like this is pretty hard to trade. If you try to trade a guy that their contract is unreasonable, they're not going to be like, oh yeah, just give me the $10 million. I don't care. They'll say it over and over again. No, we don't take overpaid veterans. And so I had to shop him around to everyone. And I finally found the Oakland Athletics would take him. So I had to give him and a couple of our younger players, again, no one great. I was able to get Seth Brown back. So Seth Brown, he's a 2-star. I'm going to actually flip him in some of these other deals because people actually want Seth Brown. So I was able to get Seth Brown back, who's going to be moved. He's making like no money. So contractually, it was a good deal for me. And then I was also able to get, a 1.5 star. I just picked up a couple of minor leaguers from them. They're never going to really probably be anything. 2 1.5 stars. But just some bodies. Maybe I'll use them down the line in a trade. So we've got Kikuchi off of the books. Now here's what I did next. Is the reason I got rid of Kikuchi, because he was making $10 million, and I offered right here this Connor, how do you say it, Menez. So I put up Kikuchi and Menez is actually a little bit better. And I only had to pay him, well, I offered him a minor league contract with a $1.3 million major league contract if he actually gets called up to the major leagues, which we'll see. After I make all these trades, I might bring him up, I might not. But I was like, why am I paying Kikuchi $10 million when I can pay this guy $1.3 million and he's better? It makes no sense. And I was able to get Seth Brown, who I'm going to use as a trade chip. Okay, so that's the move that I've made so far. So now let's talk about the moves. I have a lot of moves here that I'm thinking about making. The first one is I wanted to get George Springer off the books. Again, I don't mind George. He's fine, but he's 33 years old, and he's got a really, I got him for $22.5 million this year, next year, the year after that, all the way to 36 years old. He's already only a 3-star player, and he's probably going to continue to decline at his age. So I was going to trade, and I shopped him around, and not many people really wanted him, but I was able to find a team that would take him. The New York Yankees, because they have lots of money. Really, it's because they're trying to unload Garrett Cole. And I'm going to pull up Cole here in a second. But I can trade George Springer and Seth Brown, who Seth isn't going to play for me anyway. And I can get Garrett Cole. So I'm going to pull up this trade real fast. Right? So we're going to trade away the player. And then we're just going to go over here to the Yankees. Okay, because I want to show you Garrett Cole. He's their second best player. 4.5 stars. All right, so here's Garrett Cole. So I can get Garrett Cole. Now, his contract is outrageous, and that's why they want to get rid of him, too. He's making $36 million this year. He's making $36 million next year. And then he has a player opt-out. He can opt out if he wants, or he can just get $36 million, again, at the age 34 season. So he's getting paid What's that? Another 14 million dollars more than George Springer. But here's the thing, George Springer he's a good player. If you look at Garrett Cole, he's one of the best starters in the league. So all of a sudden I'm going to have maybe the best starter in the league. 4.5 stars, great stuff. Movement and control isn't great, which is odd because he's nasty in real life. So I'm able to get Garrett Cole. I'm also able to get them to take $11 million off his contract this year. So instead of it being $36 million, it's only going to cost me $25. So I'm almost flipping Springer for Garrett Cole, almost straight up when it comes to contracts. And obviously I'm getting a #1 starter that we can put at the top of the rotation right away. Here's the other thing. It gets even better because not only do I get Garrett Cole, but I was also able to get them to throw in, who did they throw in? Oh, they threw in Michael King. So they're going to throw in Michael King, who's a 3-star. He's a closer for them. His contract is great. He's only making $1.3 million. I'm going to have him for a little while. And so not only do I get Garrett Cole, but I have another bullpen arm. And my bullpen stinks. So I get a bullpen arm that I'm going to have for multiple years. I get Garrett Cole. I'll have 2 more years after this season to figure out what I want to do with that contract. I'm probably just going to pitch him. He's a 4.5 star. Even if he declines, he's still going to be really good. So I get an elite talent. I think I make that move. Let me know what you think about that. Okay, now the second move is Kevin Gausman. I like him. He's good. Let's look him up real quick. So here's Gausman. Now, his contract is humongous. Maybe I just keep him, okay? He's 32 years old. He's a 4-star player. Maybe I just keep him, and now I go with Garrett Cole and I have Gausman. That's a nice 1-2 punch right there. But I was able to make a trade that helps me get rid of his contract. Part of this is I kind of want to go after Ohtani. I'm trying to get some money available down the road so I can get Ohtani because Ohtani is an absolute beast. Maybe it's not worth going after Ohtani. Maybe I just keep Gausman. But here's a deal that I found. So I can trade Gausman, and you would think a lot of teams would want him, but a lot of teams think that that contract, again, 23 million, here's his contract again, he's going to get 21 this year, 24 next year, 23 year after that, 23 the year after that. A lot of teams don't want it because he's got a large contract and he's a little bit older. But I was able to find a team that will take him, and that is the White Sox. So I'm going to pull that up real quick, and I'm going to show you the deal. Okay, so here's what they're going to do. So I can give Gausman away, and I also have to give a very low-level prospect, like a 1.5-star prospect. They're going to give me Eloy Jimenez. Where's Eloy? Let me find Eloy real quick. All right, we'll do it this way. So Eloy, oh, he's way up here. Okay, 3.5-star Eloy, all right? Now, his contract, he gets $9.5 million this year, then he has $13 million, and he gets $16.5 million. So that contract's gonna suck. He is only 26 years old. He doesn't really, he's an average defender, but he's a pretty good hitter. He's a solid player. And I did say that I wanted a little bit more pop in the outfield, but if I'm trading Springer, I can take Eloy and I can put Eloy in the outfield. I'd put Eloy in left, and then I could probably just move Dalton over to right. But not only are they going to give me Eloy, I was also able to get them to take $4 million off of his contract this year. So I'm going to get him this year for only $5.5 million. Which I think is a pretty darn good deal. I'm paying George Springer 23 million. I'm going to only have to pay Eloy like $4 million, but it gets even better than that because I'm also going to get Gavin Sheets. Now, why do I need Gavin Sheets? I don't really know, but I will say he's a 3-star. He makes no money, right? He went to Wake Forest, first off. He's a good first baseman. And he's a pretty darn good hitter. He's a good player. So I get Eloy for not that much. I get Gavin Sheets paying him no money. I'll have him for a long time. I've got him under control for a while. I can then take Vladdy and maybe, I don't know, maybe I move Vladdy to DH, or I can figure out something else to do with him because I'm pretty sure that Gavin Sheets is a better defensive first baseman than Vladdy is. So I have that deal. Gets rid of Gausman's contract, allows me to get Ohtani probably next year, gives me Eloy, gives me Gavin Sheets, and they give me $4 million. Let me know what you think about that deal. Okay, now I'm going in for the kill. So I could keep Gosman and have him, and then also, I mean, if I make this move, if I just keep Gosman and make this move, then I might be really loaded. Even if I don't keep Gosman, I think I'm still loaded. So, Danny Jansen, I was looking for teams that had a really good pitcher that was on a one-year deal just to help me win the World Series this year. And you would think it would be pretty easy to, not pretty easy to get that. It's not pretty easy to get that. But I came up with Blake Snell. Now, here's the thing. They wanted Danny Jansen. I like Danny Jansen. Nice player. Doesn't get paid a ton. He's a catcher. We already have Kirk, who's a catcher that I can put in there. So I'm not saying Jansen is just someone that we can throw away, but they will trade me. And I tried all different things to try to get Blake Snell, and this is the one way I could do it. They want Jansen. So let's pull up Blake Snell. Here he is right here. All right, so Snell, 70 stuff. He's a 4-star. He's really good. Last year of his contract right here, $16 million. But I also got them to throw in $5 million. So it's going to take his contract down to $11 million. Here's the only thing, though. It's Danny Jansen and 3 prospects. So not super high-level prospects. We don't have any super high-level prospects, but there's 3 like decent prospects. But it gives me Blake Snell, and it gives me a run at the World Series. So this is a little bit more of a move that is like, if I want to win right now, this is the move to make. The Padres, they're looking to get rid of Snell for whatever reason. They want to take my catcher and a couple of prospects. Do I make the move for Blake Snell, go all in? And I could have Garrett Cole, I could have Blake Snell, I could have Gosman still if I want to keep him, or I can trade him away. And move Eloy and do all that stuff we already talked about. So if you look at it in total, I'd be adding Cole, King, Eloy Jimenez, Gavin Sheets, and Blake Snell, as well as $15 million for Gosman, Springer, Seth Brown, and Danny Jansen, and then 3 to 4 prospects. What do you think? I need to know in the comment section below. Now, a couple more things before I let you go. One guy that I want to get rid of, and again, I'm sure he's a great guy, but for this video game, Chris Bassett. All right, here's the thing. He's making $18 million this year, 21 next year, and 21 the year after that. As a 36-year-old, he's a 3-star. He's fine. He's fine, but he's making a lot of money. I was able to find, now I couldn't find anybody that would take this contract on except for the Seattle Mariners. So the Seattle Mariners will take this on, and in return, Seattle, where are you? In return, they are going to give me Matt Brash. So, Matt Brash, let me just get this deal right. So I have to give them Bassett, and I have to give them Espinal, our second baseman. They're going to give me Matt Brash, who he's a 3-star, 4-star potential. He's got nasty stuff, doesn't have that great of control. His stamina is a 40. I could potentially make him a starter. He wouldn't be able to go deep into the games, but I could potentially make him a starter, or I could just use him as a reliever. They're also going to give me their #1 prospect in this game, which is, I'm going to pull it up right now. Okay, so they're going to give me Michael Arroyo. He's a 3.5-star. He's the best they've got. Okay, so here's the deal. I could dump Bassett, I can get Brash, and I can get Arroyo. I have to also send Espinal. Here's the one part. They want me to pay off Bassett's entire contract for this year. So I've got to basically give them Bassett, and how much is he making? He's making $18 million. They want me to take 17. I have to basically give them $17 million. But it gets him completely off the books, and I can take that $21 million next year, and I can put it towards Ohtani. Okay, and again, that's what I'm trying to do. So, and I can go out and find a 3-star pitcher for probably way, way, way less than $18 million. So, and I'm going to have the money because I'm saving it in all these other deals this year. So I have the extra $17 million. So let me know what you think about that. Bassett for Matt Brash, a top prospect. Also got to send them Espinal and $17 million. But that's the only way I can get Bassett off the books. Nobody else wants him. So you might say like, oh, that's not a good deal. Look for another deal. There's nobody else. This is the only way I can do it. And then the last thing that I'm going to do, and then I'm going to finally play a game, is Brandon Belt's $9 million contract really make me mad. Nobody wanted Brandon Belt, but I found somebody that would finally take him, and it was the Kansas City Royals. The Kansas City Royals will take him from me And the only way I could get him is to take Zach Greinke from them. Now, Greinke is making $8.5 million this year. So it's almost the same amount of money, but here's the thing. They will give me $11 million. So they'll pay off his entire contract and then give me an additional like $2.5 million. I have to give them Brandon Belt. I have to give them one of my prospects. Let me see the prospect I have to give him. Okay, so I do have to give him this 19-year-old prospect right here. Right, so I got to give him this guy. He's a 2.5 star. Again, a 2.5 star, it's like, who really cares? Like, I should be able to find 2.5 star prospects all over the place. So I get rid of Belt, who I'm not really going to use anyways. I have to give this prospect away. But I'm able to get Greinke. I'm able to get $11 million. So I get Greinke for free. I get another $2.5 million. $2.5–3 million that I can spend on a free agent or something else. And then I can take Greinke and I don't know, maybe I can use Greinke in a trade somewhere. So those are all the things I'm looking to do. Let me know what you like, what you don't like about that. If you have any other ideas, I've been looking all day and night. These deals are not really easy to find because not a lot of guys want those players because their contracts are so huge, but I'm just trying to clear things up next offseason for Ohtani, but I also want to win this year. So give me your thoughts. Once you guys let me know what you want me to do, I'm going to do it, and then we're going to get playing, and I'm going to win a World Series. I might win one this year.